inferring there's a lesser damnation, or it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than for that city, inferring there's a less tolerable. A servant beaten with many stripes or beaten with few. Hebrews 10:28 talks about how much sorer punishment suppose shall you receive. And so there's a sorer punishment. You make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. There's a lot of scriptures on the different levels of torment, but none of them are good. Okay, all of them are bad, every single level. There isn't any nice spot in hell. So it's not a place you want to go to. Now, I thought about, when I was down there, I thought about my wife. And I thought about I could never get to her again. I'd never get out. She'd never know where I was at. She never could find me. I couldn't get out. And that thought to me was really tormenting. To live with that for eternity, that she would never know where I was, and I would never get to her. She would never know what happened to me. That was horrifying to me. And I've always told my wife I'd get to her no matter what happens. If we're in an earthquake and we're separated that day, I'll get to her. I'll find her. And I couldn't get to her. So another thing that you just have to endure there is being separated from your loved ones. I thought about people up on the earth. I understood that there was a whole world going on up here, but that the people up here don't realize there's a whole world going on down there. Most people don't realize that there's millions of people down there that used to live up here on the surface. And they're all there, tormented. And they used to live here and live their life just like you and I, walking the earth, doing their thing, and enjoying their families. And now they're eternally lost in this place, and they'll never see their families. They'll never see anyone. I thought about, just for a second, I had flashbacks of I wanted to eat a good meal. I have a drop of water. Water was so precious. I just wanted one drop, like the rich man said. You know, one drop would have been so special. And so I really value water highly now. My wife and I both, I carry water everywhere we go. And I have a bar at home. I collect water from around the world. So if you don't like water, you want to learn to love it. Because, when my wife poured it for me when we returned, she poured me a glass of water. And it just all of a sudden, it was life in a glass. See, water represents life. It talks about that in Revelation 21. And it just was amazing for me to look at water and think, there's life in this. And there's no life in hell. So there's no water in hell. Zechariah 9:11 talks about thy prisoners in the pit where there is no water. And a lot of other scriptures. But water is so precious now. Matter of fact, I'm going to have a drink. So. Anyway, so like I said, I thought about everybody up on the earth, and there's no way to get out of this place. Absolutely no way out. You couldn't get out no matter what, but I could understand eternity there. Like here, you can't quite grasp eternity. We think of time as having a beginning and an end, right? It's got to end somewhere. We think of timeline. But in your spirit body, you can understand eternity. So I could grasp that I was going to be there forever, and I would never, ever get out. So, the torments are terrible that you have to endure, but the worst part is that you'll never get out. You'll suffer for eternity. And I think I would like to show, before I get to the good part of meeting Jesus, I'd like you guys to see this little 3-minute video we put together. Mary Kay Baxter and myself put together a little short video, and her and I watched different Hollywood movies to try to find something that looked realistic about hell, something that would look real. And so it's as good as it can get for Hollywood, but it's far short of what it really was like. She saw a woman running. There was a spirit of fear chasing this woman for eternity through hell. I don't know how the woman had strength to run, because I didn't have any strength, but there's a lot of things I didn't see in hell. Hell's a big place, and the Lord only showed me part of it. So she saw that. You'll see again where Kenneth Hagin's testimony, where he's being drawn up to the gates, and you'll see that creature that I saw. And then you'll see people hung on crosses. And Mary Kay talked about that, where people that mocked the cross, that are hung on crosses for eternity. So that's part of what you'll see. So hopefully this will give you a little bit of a visual. It's just 3 minutes long, and then we'll get back to the good part about Jesus.
As I have already said, the most amazing time you will ever spend is the first 5 minutes after you die. Man is the only creature that knows he's going to die, and he's trying desperately to forget the fact that he's going to die. And if you mention death, there are people who will get a little nervous, and they will change the subjects very much like you do with your channel changer on television. They don't want to think about death.
Hell is a real place. Men may laugh and they may make jokes about the existence of such a place as hell. Natural instinct is either to ignore it, to not think about it whatsoever, or to deny it.
I tell you, when I face God, and I'm going to face Him, I'm going to have to give Him account for the way I preach. To Christ.
Who's going there? Who's going to hell? All right, the Pharisees said to Jesus, Lord, are there few that are going to be saved? Now listen to me quickly, clearly. I'm going to make a statement, listen to it. The majority of mankind is going to hell. I'll say it again. The majority of the population of the earth is going to hell. You look at New York City. Oh, by the way, they asked Jesus that. Are there going to be many that be saved? You know what Jesus said? Listen to me. Enter in He's answering this question. Enter in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which are going in therein. But straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth to life, and few there be that will find it. Few. The majority are going to hell. Do you know that there were only 4 people saved out of Sodom and Gomorrah? Lot and his wife and his 2 daughters. Do you know when God destroyed the earth, there were only 8 souls saved? The Bible says, 1 Peter 3:20, wherein few, that is, only 8 souls were saved by water. Only 8 souls were saved out of the whole population of the world. John wrote, and we know that we are of God, and the whole world lies in darkness. The whole world lies in darkness. All right, who's going to hell? First of all, I said the majority of the population is going to hell. And then in Revelation, would you turn to Revelation 21:8? These are the obvious ones who are going to hell. Then we'll go to the ones who are not so obvious. I'm going to preach 1 hour tonight, but you're going to get this good. Who's going to hell? I wonder if you're going to find, if you find yourself in this list, oh, God put His holy fear in your heart. Bring you to repentance tonight. 21:8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and warmongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, so what? Have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Don't wait. What would you do if God or if Jesus came back and you say, but God, I was going to come. I was going to come up. And it would be too late. Think about that, y'all. Don't wait. Don't wait. Just come up. It's not worth it.
God has prepared a place. It was prepared originally for the devil and his angels. And it is a place prepared by God where the damned of all ages will suffer the full indignation, the wrath, the anger, the torment, the pain, all that a Creator God can imagine in His infinite mind. God has created a hell of torment, indignation for His wrath. And boy, when I begin to see this, it's changed my whole concept of hell. It's changed the way I preach it. You say, how could a loving Jesus create a hell so horrible it's beyond imagination, where His full wrath for eternity is going to be spent on the ungodly and the sinful? Jesus warned about this over and over again. Jesus preached hell more than any Pentecostal Baptist preacher on the face of the earth. He preached it to His friends. Now I'm going to take you to the scriptures. Don't turn, just follow me. I'm going to take you to Luke 12:5. Listen to what Jesus said to His friends. He's not talking to prostitutes and alcoholics now. He's talking to His disciples. Listen to what He said. And I say unto you, my friends, do not be afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more power in what they can do. But I'll tell you who you shall fear. Fear Him which after He's killed the body has power to cast you into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear Him. Who said that? Jesus said that. Folks, if Jesus said it, I have a right to preach it. Every preacher in America should be preaching because Jesus preached it. He preached it to His friends. He preached it to those who were saved. He said, I'll tell you who to fear. Fear Him who after you're dead He can cast you into a hell. Fear Him. Jesus was first to warn of hellfire. He said in Matthew 5:22, but whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Jesus called it a danger. Be in danger. Be warned. Jesus taught it's better to cut off your right arm or you pluck out your right eye than to be cast into godless hell. He said, if your eye offends you, cut it out. If your leg offends you, your arm or leg offends you, cut it off. Better to go into hell crippled than to be cast into, be in heaven as a cripple than to be cast into hell with all your parts. Very clear. If your right hand offends you, pluck it out. Better that one of your members perish, but not that your whole body should be cast into hell. Again, he's talking about hell. Jesus warned the cities of Capernaum and Bethsaida and all those who heard his message and rejected. He said, "All Capernaum, Bethsaida, thou shalt be brought down to hell." He says that to New York City. He says it to any city that rejects him. You'll be brought down to hell.
بي ضللت حين تركت دفء الأماني في حضنك، بيتي هجرت طوعا وجهلا، وكنت أحيا في خيرك سعيا وراء الأهواء سرت، والشر كالنار المهلكة، وعندما اشتد بي عذابي قلت أعود ربي لك. الخطيئة استشرفيها حتى شربت الإثم، كما كان المذاق في الحلق حلوا، وفعله في القلب شقاء. أدمنت شري حتى يئست، هل من شفاء بعد العمى؟ أنت رجائي، أنت شفائي من كل دائي، أنت الدواء. طال ابتعادي زاد عنادي، توبني ربي حتى أتوب، بروحك انزع عني القساوة، بكتني واجعل قلبي يذوب. مهما يكون إثمي عظيما، دم المسيح يشفي العيوب، فاسترني واغسل أدران قلبي، وارحمني يا غافر كل الذنوب، وارحمني يا غافر كل الذنوب.